A German infantryman walks toward the body of a killed Soviet soldier and a burning BT-7 light tank in the southern Soviet Union in 1941 during the early days of Operation Barbarossa. And STI KFZ 250 half-track in front of German tank units as they prepare for an attack on July 21, 1941, somewhere along the Russian war front during the German invasion of the Soviet Union. A German half-track driver inside an armored vehicle in Russia in August of 1941. German infantrymen watch enemy movements from their trenches shortly before an advance inside Soviet territory on July 10, 1941. German soldiers cross a river identified as the Don River in a storm boat sometime in 1941 during the German invasion of the Caucasus region in the Soviet Union. German soldiers move a horse-drawn vehicle over a corduroy road while crossing a wetland area in October 1941 near Salla on Kola Peninsula, a Soviet-occupied region in northeast Finland. Nazi troops lie concealed in the undergrowth during the fighting prior to the capture of Kiev, Ukraine, in 1941. Reindeer graze on an airfield in Finland on July 26, 1941. In the background, a German warplane takes off. Heinrich Himmler, left in glasses, head of the Gestapo and the Waffen-SS, inspects a prisoner of war camp in this from 1940 to 41 in Russia. Evidence of the fierce fighting on the Moscow sector of the front is provided in this photo, showing what the Germans claim to be some of the 650,000 Russian prisoners which they captured at Bryansk and Vyazma. They are here seen waiting to be transported to a prisoner of war camp somewhere in Russia on November 2, 1941. Adolf Hitler Center studies a Russian war map with General Field Marshal Walter von Brauchitsch, left, German Commander-in-Chief and Chief of Staff Colonel, General Franz Halder, on August 7, 1941. A huge Russian gun on tracks, likely a 203mm howitzer M1931, is manned by its crew in a well-concealed position on the Russian front on September 15, 1941. A Finnish troop train passes through a scene of an earlier explosion which wrecked one train, tearing up the rails and embankment on October 19, 1941. Burning houses, ruins, and wrecks speak for the ferocity of the battle preceding this moment when German forces entered the stubbornly defended industrial center of Rostov on the lower Don River in Russia on November 22, 1941. General Heinz Guderian, commander of Germany's Panzergruppe II, chats with members of a tank crew on the Russian front on September 3, 1941. German mechanized troops rest at Stariza, Russia on November 21, 1941, only just evacuated by the Russians before continuing the fight for Kiev. Russian snipers leave their hideout in a wheat field somewhere in Russia on August 27, 1941, watched by German soldiers. In foreground is a disabled Soviet tank. German infantrymen in heavy winter gear marched next to horse-drawn vehicles as they passed through a district near Moscow in November 1941. Winter conditions strained an already thin supply line and forced Germany to halt its advance, leaving soldiers exposed to the elements and Soviet counterattacks, resulting in heavy casualties and a serious loss of momentum in the war.